Your daily headlines powered by AI and reviewed by people you can trust. This is Neural Newscast.
Live from the Neural Newscast Global Information Center, I'm Andrew Lindbeck. Today is September 21st, 2025. On this day in 1595, Don Juan de Oñate presented his petition and contract for the conquest of New Mexico to Luis de Velasco, the Viceroy of Nueva Vizcaya, a key step toward Spanish expansion in the region. International developments you should know. Heathrow Airport warns passengers to expect continued disruption after a cyber attack hit check-in and baggage operations, causing delays and cancellations. Let's hear from Monica Kellen.
Heathrow Airport warns passengers to expect a second day of disruption after a cyber attack. The airport says a systems failure hit check-in and baggage operations, forcing hundreds of delays and cancellations. Airlines manually process travelers, creating long queues and missed connections. Engineers restored some functions overnight, but schedules remain tight and recovery is slow. Heathrow urges travelers to check flight status, arrive early, and pack essentials and carry-ons. Britain's National Cybersecurity Centre is monitoring the incident. The airport says safety is intact and calls the attack a serious disruption while investigations continue.
Britain, Australia, and Canada have formally recognized a Palestinian state ahead of the UN General Assembly, moving to reshape diplomatic pressure. Cassandra Joyce is here with more details.
Britain, Australia, and Canada formally recognize a Palestinian state, announcing the move ahead of the UN General Assembly. The decision increases diplomatic pressure on Israel and signals a break with the Trump administration's stance. Leaders in London, Canberra, and Ottawa say recognition supports a two-state solution and renewed negotiations. The timing seeks to shape agenda, setting speeches and meetings in New York. Israel rejects unilateral recognition and warns it rewards Palestinian divisions. Analysts say Washington faces fresh strain with close allies over Middle East policy. One diplomat calls it a strategic reset aimed at reviving peace talks. This is Cassandra Joyce for Neural Newscast.
From the political beat, here's what's new. President Donald Trump is pressing the Justice Department to open cases against political opponents, people familiar say, intensifying scrutiny of department independence. A bipartisan U.S. House delegation is visiting Beijing to push for military-to-military crisis hotlines and clearer rules. Sarah Wheaton has more on this.
A bipartisan U.S. House delegation visits Beijing to push for military-to-military dialogue. Chinese Premier Li Qiang welcomes the group led by Representative Adam Smith, calling it an ice-breaking trip. Lawmakers seek crisis hotlines and clearer rules to prevent incidents at sea and in the air. Supporters say steady talks reduce miscalculation amid tensions over Taiwan and the South China Sea. Critics warn engagement can dilute leverage on security and human rights. Both views reflect ongoing debates in U.S.-China policy.
President Donald Trump has nominated a senior White House aide to lead the Eastern District of Virginia U.S. Attorney's Office, a post with politically sensitive cases. Let's hear from Cassandra Joyce.
President Donald Trump nominates senior White House aide Lindsey Halligan to lead the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia, a post shaken after its chief was pushed out recently. The office oversees cases with political sensitivity, including matters touching New York Attorney General Letitia James. Supporters say Halligan's White House experience ensures continuity and accountability. Critics warn the pick could blur lines between the Justice Department and the White House, part of ongoing debates over prosecutorial independence. The Senate must confirm Halligan, and hearings are expected to probe potential conflicts and safeguards.
Daily news, synthesized and verified. This is Chad Thompson, the founder of Neural Newscast. At Neural Newscast, we're all about making news fast, factual, unbiased, and human-reviewed. Visit neuralnewscast.com for deep dives, special reports, and our full archive of content.
Innovation and tech trends are next. A federal jury in Seattle will decide whether Amazon illegally nudged people into Prime using dark patterns. A trial expected to last about a month. Kara Swift has more on this.
A federal jury in Seattle will decide if Amazon illegally pushed people into Prime and made canceling hard. Jury selection begins as the trial gets underway, expected to last about a month. The Federal Trade Commission says Amazon used dark patterns that signed up tens of millions without clear consent. Amazon denies wrongdoing. The case tests how far design tricks can go in subscription tech. It could reshape how apps present buttons, defaults, and cancellation across e-commerce. The FTC's separate antitrust case against Amazon is scheduled for early 2027.
Security researchers disclosed a Microsoft Entra ID flaw that could let attackers hijack company tenants, prompting Microsoft to issue fixes and guidance. Now, let's cover scientific developments. New simulations show neutrino mixing can change how neutron star mergers unfold, affecting kilonova brightness and element formation. Here's Nathaniel Cohen with more.
Neutrino mixing changes how neutron star mergers unfold, new simulations show. When two neutron stars collide, they unleash extreme heat, gravity, and magnetic fields, plus torrents of ghostly neutrinos. The models find flavor-swapping neutrinos redistribute energy and matter, altering the merger's ejecta and the birth of heavy elements. That shift can brighten kilonova-like curves and tweak gravitational wave signals detected on Earth. The work helps pin down how gold and platinum form and guides next-generation observatories studying multi-messenger cosmic blasts.
NASA's Perseverance rover found rocks in Jezero crater containing organic molecules and minerals that could be early biosignatures, scientists say. Amelia Richardson reports on this story.
NASA's Perseverance rover identifies rocks in Jezero crater that carry potential biosignatures. In the Bright Angel Formation, it finds organic molecules and minerals tied to microbial metabolism. The rocks, layered arrangement, suggest redox reactions that mirror life-driven chemistry on Earth. Scientists stress this is not proof of life, but it narrows the hunt. The rover stores a sample from this site, now a top candidate for return to Earth in a future mission. One scientist calls it high-priority evidence, pending lab analysis. This is Amelia Richardson for Neural Newscast.
For a health update, here's what's new. A maternity ward in eastern Chad is overwhelmed as U.S. aid dries up and refugees from Sudan flood in, leaving staff pleading for funding. I'm joined by Laura Navarro.
A maternity ward in eastern Chad reaches a breaking point as U.S. aid dries up. The war in neighboring Sudan drives thousands of pregnant women across the border. Beds are full, medicines run low, midwives triage by flashlight. Doctors report hemorrhages and infections they can't treat. Many mothers arrive malnourished after weeks on the road. Newborns need oxygen and warm incubators, but power cuts are daily. Families sell goats to buy antibiotics. Staff plead for funding to restore blood supplies, fuel for generators, and basic obstetric care now. Lives hinge on speed. This is Laura Navarro for Neural Newscast.
Now, let's share the latest from abroad. Investigators say they uncovered a Russian-funded disinformation operation offering cash to attack Moldova's ruling party ahead of elections. French President Emmanuel Macron says remaining European energy imports from Russia are very marginal, weighing in on a wider debate over leverage and security. Here's Thomas Golding with more.
French President Emmanuel Macron says the European Union's remaining energy imports from Russia are very marginal. He pushes back on President Donald Trump's call for Europe to curb purchases further if it wants stronger U.S. pressure on Moscow. Macron's stance is one perspective in a larger debate over leverage on Russia and energy security.
EU data show Russian gas flows have dropped sharply in recent years, while some oil and LNG still enter under exceptions. Critics argue any imports undermine sanctions, others warn abrupt bans risk price shocks and winter supply gaps.
This is Thomas Golding for Neural Newscast.
Entertainment stories making waves. Songwriter Sonny Curtis has died at 88. His songs included the Mary Tyler Moore theme and many beloved hits. Here's Lydia Holmes with more.
Songwriter Sonny Curtis dies at 88. He co-writes the Mary Tyler Moore Show theme and I Fought the Law. Curtis starts with Buddy Holly in Lubbock and later joins the Crickets. He pens Walk Right Back, a hit for the Everly Brothers and hundreds more. His melodies bridge rock, country, and television. Tributes note his hook-filled craft. One fan favorite line, Love is all around, sung by generations. This is Lydia Holmes for Neural Newscast.
Now, let's check in on sports. Elijah Wilson has won a record 4th WNBA MVP, cementing her place among the league's all-time greats. Thomas Golding is here with more details.
Aaliyah Wilson wins a record 4th WNBA MVP, setting a new league benchmark. The 6'4" Las Vegas Aces center dominates in her 8th season, finishing top 5 in points, rebounds, blocks, and steals. Her two-way production anchors the defending champions and underscores her era-defining impact. The award solidifies Wilson's place among the league's all-time greats and raises the bar for future MVP races.
Today's top games to watch include the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New York Giants and the Seattle Mariners versus the Houston Astros, with betting notes and odds for viewers. William Hayes is here with more details.
Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs headlined today's slate against the New York Giants, drawing heavy action in prime time. Bettors circle Kansas City's explosive offense and a favorable matchup for Travis Kelce in the red zone. In MLB, the Seattle Mariners face the Houston Astros in a pivotal AL race, with pitching depth favoring Houston late. Parlay players eye Chiefs to cover and Astros on the money line. Wager responsibly and watch injury reports. This is William Hayes for Neural Newscast.
That concludes our headlines for this hour. Stay with Neural Newscast for full stories and updates online.
You've been listening to Neural Newscast, AI-powered, human-reviewed. Keep up with us on X, Bumble, and Facebook, and dive deeper at neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast fuses real and AI-generated voices for fast, quality news. AI creates, humans review. We aim for accuracy, but errors can happen. Verify key details. Learn more at nnewscast.com.